if I pronounce your name wrongly. Joelita?
Joelita. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Joelita.
Oi, Joelita. Joelita.
Hi guys, because I have some problem with my computer here, so I raised my hand, but it was a mistake. Sorry.
That's good, no problem.
Se você quiser se apresentar.
Okay, it's okay. So my name is Joelita. It is the way to pronounce my name. I'm from Brazil, Lins. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And I am ambassador of Planetary Health. And I work with Youth Planetary Health Club with children. And it's okay. Thank you for this opportunity to present myself.
Now you can choose one.
Sorry, okay, I can choose one. Sorry, Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, great. Well, are you with my name? Well, whatever. I'm Vanessa, guys. I'm from Brazil. I'm an integrative health professional and a dancer and very enthusiastic of biodiversity. And I'm in the ACOPPHE organization, helping and collaborating in different spaces. And it's a pleasure to be here. I will be moderating this together with Nader and Vedasti. And I will call Vivian. We are presenting ourselves, Vivian, at the moment. She's from Bolivia.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I am Vivian Camacho from the plurinational state of Bolivia. Thank you, Vanessa, for this invitation. I have just landed in La Paz from Trinidad and Tobago. So, but it was a good chance to connect, to share, and thank you for this opportunity. Greetings from Bolivia.
So, Percival.
All right, so greetings from Ghana. I hope you can see me. I work in the University of Health and Allied Science. I'm a nutritionist by training and a registered dietitian as well. I am also a member of the ACOPPHE, and I only recently, I'm proud to say that I joined the executive membership, and my interests are in planetary health and things to do with encouraging sustainable nutrition and culture and arts. And I'm very excited to be part of this gathering. I'm looking forward to learn more about biodiversity. I would pick John Main. I hope I didn't crucify the name.
It's a good evening from here, and I'm sorry my video is off because I'm on transit. I hope I'm audible. Yes, my name is John. I work in Kenyatta National Hospital. I am a professional healthcare chaplain, and I am here to learn, really listen to the great stories from a global perspective on how better we can engage and take care of the environment. That's all for now.
Maybe Judy can come next. Thank you, John. Karibu sana. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Nathan. I have put my introduction in the chat. I'm in a moving vehicle, but I'm Judy Machuka. Hope you can hear. It's a bit noisy in the background. Psychologist in a national teaching and referral hospital. I'm passionate about caring for the health of young people and the environment. And I'm a good friend of ACOPPHE. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Karibu sana. Maybe Alfred Kamau. Actually, I see Alfred is still connecting. So Joe, then maybe Alfred.
Thank you, Nathan, and I'm Joe NP. I speak from Liberia, and I'm happy to be in this meeting. And I'm a member of ACOPPHE and a member of the Monitoring and Research Network group. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Maybe Alfred next, if you can hear us. Alfred or Justine Kapanga.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So I'm Justin Kapanga from Kenya. I'm representing an organization known as the Young African Network for Global Goals. We work around the SDGs. So I'm really glad to be part of this, and I'm looking forward to an interactive and informative forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Justine. Alfred might be having audio connection issues, but if you can hear us, Alfred, say hello. Otherwise, David Bukusi.
Hello. Thank you for this invite for this particular meeting. I'm catching up because of Judy and some of the things that we've been doing together. And I'm happy to listen to how we're going to be addressing issues of biodiversity. Thank you very much. I've just joined. I hope that was what I was supposed to say.
Yes, we're doing brief introductions, so that was very much on point. Thank you for sharing. We're almost completed. Several of us have not yet had a chance to say hello. Maybe Walia, if you could say hello in the chat. I know you're not able to speak, but Gokul and then Mona.
Hi.
Hey, Gokul, we can hear you.
Hi, Nathan. So I'm Gokul and I'm from Kerala, India. And yeah, I'm a medical student, like focusing in traditional medicine, like Ayurveda, back here. So I'm working on protecting biodiversity by creating awareness about how important our biodiversity is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Maybe we can.
Thank you, Gokul. Maybe Mona, you could go next.
Thanks, Nathan. My name is Mona. I'm based at Cairo University, Egypt, and I've been working with the ACOPPHE community for 2 years. I'm working with the research team and also with the NOVA Integrative Medicine team at Baltimore, Maryland, USA. And it's really a pleasure to connect with all the wonderful participants in this group, talking about biodiversity and seeing the holistic picture of the interconnectedness of everything surrounding us. Thank you. Back to you, Nathan.
Thank you, Mona. I think Semi recently joined. We're finishing up the introductions and about to transition into the presentations, which will be followed by interactive sharing and hopefully planning and co-creation about a pathway moving forward. So if you can say hello, Sammy, we'll be happy to learn about you.
Hello. East Africa time, it's evening, so good evening all. I'm Sami Njogu from Kenya, Nakuru City. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to put my video. It's a bit dark where I am, but it's a privilege to be in the meeting. So I'm an environmentalist, a finalist in Kenyatta University. And the topic, or rather the discussion, tends to cut across what I've been studying, and I look forward to learning from each and everyone, and also being educated, as well as giving my views on how, or rather the way forward on protecting our biodiversity, which sustains all lives, and as far as the environment as well as the biotic factors of the same are concerned. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy. I think someone just joined and we are sharing the link a bit. So if you are not yet named by your appropriate name, there's another Nathaniel Utman who just joined. So if you could just rename yourself and then introduce yourself in the chat. Otherwise, I'll pass it to Vanessa. Our plan is for 4 presenters, beginning with Vivian, then Roberto, and then Gokul, and then we'll finish with Hasina, and then we'll have an interactive discussion. So over to you, Vanessa, to introduce the first 2 speakers.
Thank you very much, Nathan. It's a pleasure to introduce these 2 human beings that I have really strong connections. Vivian, she's from Bolivia, as she said, it's Vivian Tatiana Camacho Hinojosa, her name. She is a national director of the Ancestral Traditional Medicine within the Vice Ministry of Ancestral Traditional Medicine of the Ministry of Health of the plurinational state of Bolivia. She's a high-level commissioner, alma ata 40 years, of the region of the Americas for the Pan American Health Organization, People's Health Coordinator, former representative for the Andean region of Latin America coordination within the World Movement for People's Health, and Quechua midwife, promoter of respectful childbirth and ancestral midwifery, a master in agroecology and culture and indigenous development in Latin America, promoter of popular health with peasant communities, indigenous communicator, member of the Abiwaya Wala network of indigenous communication, and medical surgeon specialist in interculturality and health, promoter of ancestral knowledge and indigenous people. So she, correct me if I said anything wrong, please. It's an honor to have you here, Vivian. She will be speaking about cultural diversity and biodiversity, bringing a little bit of Bolivia to our lives. So I will introduce Roberto after her, if you don't mind. So The floor is yours, Vivian. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you so much, dear Vanessa. And to all of you for make the effort for being here. I know we are in different occupations, very busy. I have just landed in Bolivia and I have to go to our next meeting with Vice Presidency, but I'm so happy to share with you these short moments because even though it's going to be some moments, we need to know that we are millions in the world organized to take care of Mother Earth. So as a National Director of Ancestral Medicine, we are working here in Bolivia with the law of ancestral medicine, which recognizes spiritual guides, midwives, natural healers, traditional healers. So they are part also of our health system because we are talking about the interculturality in health, but also the dialogue between different wisdom. So different cultures can have different responses, different answers. And as indigenous peoples, we have remained after colonization. We are the ones that continue to be alive after they made the exterminium, the idolatry exterminium. They tried to bury our culture, to bury our spirituality, but it is very alive in the territory. During the COVID pandemic, when it started, we have shown that our ancestral medicine is effective and alive inside territories because we have healed ourselves and our communities and our land with different herbal preparations, with different treatments from ancestral wisdom, but also with our spirituality, with ceremonies for taking care of mental health, spiritual health. So it has to do in how you live inside your territory. So for us, our family, our Ainu are the mountains, are the lakes, are the sacred guardians of different places, of sacred places, but also every spirit, every plant, every animal, every different little thing has a spirit. So we vision. So when we talk about the spirit of fire, spirit of water, spirit of wind, spirit of Mother Earth, we are talking about our family as well, our ILU. That's why in Cochabamba in year 2000, I invite you to search. We are the ones that have fought defending water against the corporation. Corporation French came and it wanted to privatize water, but we struggled together to defend it because water is a human right, but also water is our mother. So we are the only place in the world that have thrown away a corporation defending water. And Bolivia is the country that is promoting the rights for Mother Earth. We have a law to promote this law 300 with the rights for Mother Earth, but also in health, we are talking about integral health. If we have healthy water, healthy air, healthy food, we will have healthy people, healthy communities, healthy life. So we are talking about the health of Mother Earth to address corporative systems, corporations of medical industrial complex, the agrochemistry, agroindustrial, also pharmacochemistry complex, also the complex of weapon for the war. All of them are together and they are taking our land, poisoning water, poisoning air, giving us poisoned food with agrochemicals. So they force us to consume the medicine they produce, but without thinking any health. They are only thinking about the profit and the commerce. So we propose health is a human right. So also healthy food is a human right. That's why we address to the work of peasants, of campesino farmers all over the world. Because of them, we have healthy food in our tables. It's not because of corporations. That's why we talk about the beyond the monocultural system of view of health, of production of food. That monocultural system linked to neoliberalism and capitalism is destroying us, is destroying Mother Earth, is destroying the texture, the cultural textures that we have is destroying our cultural identities. That's why we need to address again and talk about decolonization, to win back again the strength of our people, the wisdom of our people. We are brave people. We have beauty and wisdom to share for the world. That's why we are advocating for cultural diversity, because it's not a monoculturality that will give answer. Monoculturality, capitalism is falling down, destroying land, destroying people. People is committing suicide because they don't have to eat. They don't have any rights. They are being treated like trash and eating from the trash. So we need to gain back respect again for humanity. That's why we are advocating for cultural diversity, means respect for who we are, and be humble enough to learn from one another. Be humble enough to recognize the ancient cultures of the world and the wisdom they have kept alive until today with their own lives. That's why we address different cosmovisions, different cultures, uh, mm, cultural diversity. Human diversity takes care of biodiversity because we honor them as sacred places and take care of them. It's not like we are the guardians of the earth for the corporations, so they will come and invade and make war to take our territories and our water sources. It's not like that. It's for taking care of it for the next generations because they have the right for dignity, for respect. They have the right to live in a land when it's their own, but also with healthy water, with healthy food. So we are dreaming about these possibilities. And I know that there are no chances because the richest of the world, they want to go to Mars, to invade, to colonize, and they want to leave us this land alone, poisoned water, poisoned air, people without any possibilities to live inside the war times. That's why we need to address again, we are millions and they are few. So we need to remain organized, dialoguing and sharing our proposals because together we stand, divided we fall. It's necessary to join our examples, how we are building things together. And from the plurinational state of Bolivia inside health ministry, we are making those steps go on. But we know racism can hit us again. We know that violence hit our people. We know that injustice, historical injustice hit our people. So that's why we are talking about health is a human right, health is social justice, health is respecting our lives free of violence, free of racism. So there is a lot to talk about, but also when we remember if we want healthy communities, we need to work on the health of Mother Earth. Thank you so much, dear Vanessa. Thank you, all of you. In some minutes, I will have to leave, but Vanessa will keep me in touch with you. Thank you for this opportunity. Big, big hugs from Bolivia, and we are going on because we are the most beautiful dreams of our past generations that they dreamed that we would be living with dignity and respect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vivian. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Always touching heart. You didn't bring your fire today, but I felt it anyway. And also the colorful flag. Yes, so true. What you just shared is a matter of, sharing and speaking out loud to the world, everything that we know, to reconnect and regain space. So I will introduce my colleague from Brazil. Bye, Vivian. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much for coming, for the effort of being here, in this transit. So now my colleague, from the south of Brazil, one place I had never been before, and I wish I will go very soon. It's Roberto de Almeida. He's a professor at the Emergency Medicine at UNILA, Federal University of Latin America Integration, coordinator of the ICU of the Municipal Hospital of Foz do Iguaçu. And director of the Ideia Ambiental Institute, an NGO committed to promote planetary health. Founder member of CBMED, which is the Brazilian College of Lifestyle Medicine. Founder of the New Ethos to promote health connections, and founder member of the Planetary Health Study Group at the Institute of Advanced Studies at São Paulo University. Okay, correct me if I said anything wrong, Roberto, please. He's an amazing human being, such as Vivian, very integrative mind and systemic thinking, very very creative too. And he's going to be speaking about integrative planetary health, respect for biodiversity. So please, the floor is yours, Roberto. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Vanessa. I will present some slides to organize my talk. The idea here is just to say that planetary health is something very important to understand in this age of Anthropocene, that the age that human beings are responsible for a lot of problems in our planet. And today is the day of biodiversity, and I think when we start thinking and promote actions related with planetary health is a way to respect biodiversity. I would talk about this history of life in this planet, and I present here these images to present a history of the beginning of life. This little green arrow here represents the beginning of the life in this planet is around 3.5 billions of years ago. And this life, there is a characteristic of this life that during all these years, billions of years, created an amazing thing that we call biodiversity. These different colors of arrows here explain that we have beginning as one individual cell, and through the process of evolution, we become all living beings that we have here in this planet. This is the basic support to life in this planet. And there is another step that is the connection between all these different species and different forms of life. And this was the common ground, the basic that we are lived here as human beings just around 300,000 years. We just arrived in this planet as a species, human species. And then we are here in this in this presentation, we are this red arrow. And now, since 1800, we start a process that is related with this growing. We are, as a population, our human population is growing. From 1800, we are only 1 billion of human beings. Now, in this year, we achieve 8 billions of human beings. And what is happening is that we need to have a lot of compassion to understand this. We are suppressing other forms of life. We are promoting extinctions and creating another forms of life just to serve us. And this is create a lot of imbalance in our earth. This is something that is important to understand, that we are here, we are creating these connections between us to help ourselves. Not the earth is too much sophisticated, and maybe the solution that Mother Earth will have is not good for us. Then we are here to help each other, to help human beings, to understand that we need to change our pace, to change our way of thinking. And this proposal that we need to work integrated with nature It's very important. And then human disconnection is the cause of loss of biodiversity, is well documented with a lot of studies. And this is one of the most tragic barriers or boundaries that we are crossing over. We are as climate change and other problems that we are creating, but the loss of biodiversity is something that we will have if we lose the biodiversity and the pace that we are losing. This will be something that will need millions of years to recover. And then we need to understand and need to educate people and need to work in these connections to try to not fight. My approach is not fight, is to educate, is to transform, and to engage people, but to reverse this process. This arrow, yellow arrow, is the hope that we have to reverse our process. And there are three main disconnections that we need to work. I work this as different environments. The Anthropocene is the age of disconnections. The first disconnection is the internal environment. The people or spiritual disconnections, we can call this in this way too, is the disconnection from me and my best version. There is too many people suffering from this kind of disconnections, creating depression and other problems with their bodies and minds. And we have social disconnections, that is the social cultural environment. Our society is disconnecting one from each other. And there is a lot of work to do in this situation. We need to develop empathy. We need to develop non-violent communication. We need to develop social skills. We need to develop a lot of connections and create more health in this environment. And of course, we are here to talk about the disconnections with nature. And with this nature environment, is where there is all the species that are suffering with our behavior, our way of lifestyle, disconnected lifestyle. So the idea is that we can heal ourselves. We can start a process of reconnections and respecting this internal, interpersonal environment, we can develop a connection with ourselves. This is a kind of spiritual reconnections, and we can reconnect with others. This is an example of connection. I'm so glad to be here, connect with you in different countries, India, Egypt, Bolivia, United States, and other of Africa, and all these countries. And this is very, very important to connect. And the next step is to reconnect ourselves with our environment. And this is the reason that we need to educate people. Education is key always. And then the integrative planetary health is a talk about reconnections. And we have to develop this connected lifestyle. And that's all. I would like to express my gratitude to our planet Earth and gratitude for your attention. And the planet need to be, the Earth need to be present not as countries, as little pieces with a flag, but we need to see our life in this planet. And this is a new challenge for this century. Thank you.
Oh, obrigada, Roberto. Thank you very much. Yeah, this last image is very meaningful for me. Like, we need to, is real change of, mindset and the way we relate to people and everything that is live in this planet. We are in the same boat, literally. And so we need to join forces and not to be splitting in this, this very narrow minded goals and things. So yes, it reminded me when I was a teenager and then I didn't understand the boundaries. I really didn't. It was like, how come I cannot go, you know, to the north and be living there if I want to? Or so thank you very much for being here, for sharing all this amazing connected thinking that you have been working for a long time, I know, to bring us this, you know, few slides. And I will open the floor for our next speakers with pleasure. Maybe it will be Vedasti. Is that you that is gonna introduce? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vanessa. I think if it's okay with Vedast and Hasina, we will jump to Gokul next. So I will introduce Gokul shortly. I just pasted his bio briefly in the chat. And before I do that, I wanted to just briefly highlight what it is that we decided to come together today, what our objectives are and what we're anticipating moving forward. So the first objective, just pasted in the chat, is to raise awareness about the importance of biodiversity. It's something which in the modern world is arguably greatly underemphasized and underappreciated. So that's one of our founding ideas of celebrating the International Day of Biological Diversity, is to remember how interconnected we are with the natural world and that we are part of nature. And very much, as has already been emphasized, the cultural diversity, the beauty of diversity all around the planet, these are very complementary and give us huge potential to build community around this idea of diversity broadly conceived. We also wanted to connect and celebrate with others around the world who are interested in biodiversity. So that's a great starting point, is that common grounds that we all share together. It's a powerful connector, and I believe that moving forward, we can do a lot to support each other, to have solidarity, and help ensure that the importance of biodiversity is more widely recognized. The last objective, forward-looking, is to share ideas about how we can work together to simultaneously protect biodiversity and promote planetary health. So we will transition to that in the second part of the meeting to really talk about what we can do moving forward together. So I will introduce Gokul now. Gokul is from India, Kerala, God's own country, is a traditional medicine student focusing on Ayurveda science, currently working on biodiversity, indigenous knowledge, and health to bring together awareness about the need to protect nature with the Govardhan app. Govardhan is the first social media for biodiversity. Gokul is also the founder of Climate Entertainment. He's a Youngo Ocean Voice Directive board member and president of the Goodwill Youth Council. He's been at COP27, Impact 5, CSW 67, and most recently, I believe, UN Water. And I connected with Gokul in Egypt last November, so really excited to learn more from him and to see about ways that we can weave our strands of love and healing together. Over to you, Gokul. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hope you guys can listen to me. Can see my screen. Do you guys see my screen? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, so I'm Gokul and I'm from India, as you guys already heard from Nathan. So we met at COP and it was really nice to see him at COP and like learn about what he's doing back in Africa and everything. So it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Nathan, for inviting me. So I thought it was like we had to say about our projects and everything. That's why it's like this, what you guys are saying. So basically it's something for biodiversity, which I'm doing. Because most of the time when I am from a global perspective, like from a case of India, I think people, when we talk about biodiversity, people just don't care too much, as they always care about their own things, like their own stuff. And yeah, they just don't even gives more care to the nature, because everything is something like money, 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 just focusing on money. So people are not getting enough time to get connected to nature. That's the first problem I'm just seeing. So I thought like most of the time people are in their mobiles and phones and everything, electronic device. So I thought like we could use these tools as a way to connect people to back to nature. That's why I brought my project called Govardhan app, which is like a social media for biodiversity. So we wanted to like crowds of information, like how indigenous people are using their medicinal plants and everything, so that collecting this information, we could show preserve this information first of all. Then we want to show that how important our plants are, like why our plants are so important, because people doesn't know the value of the plant.
Oh, I think he is, how do you say, congelated or something.
Yeah, I think the screen might have frozen. Gokul, I don't know if you can still hear us. It seems your screen has frozen. Hopefully this is a short-term problem, but if you can hear us, maybe write in the chat, Gokul, or else maybe rejoin.
He will probably rejoin. So just meanwhile, I didn't remember. Oh, he's back. Goku, yeah.
So I think you're
Hey
muted
guys.
now. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
So my internet has some issues now. It works, I think. So yeah. Where was I? So it was like, yeah, why we need to so the companies come in between and the value of the plant is lost, or people doesn't know the value of the plant. So we wanted to like make awareness about how valuable these plants are, also in a way that how indigenous people were using this plant, because they know more than what like the companies know, or those people who has like scientific knowledge, has researched and everything. So we wanted to bring all that information, like a crowdsourcing way, to bring those information and put that in an app, so that we can validate the information with a huge number of people who are saying that, oh, I tried this plant and it's really nice plant, like it helped me with my cold, it helped me with my wounds and everything. So that this information can be validated by the social people itself, something like which we like, yeah, it's like crowdsourcing for validating information. Because most of the time people, like scientific people, they say that, oh, this indigenous knowledge is not so valid because there is no scientific basis for this and everything. But if we could use this social media, power of social media, to raise awareness, that will be great. So traditional medicine is something what I'm focusing on right now, like a medical student. And one thing that which we can use, how we can, the question is that there is a different ways we can help raise awareness for the protection of nature, okay, which can be food. And I'm focusing on health because I'm like a medical student, that's why. So there's different way, different things which we can use to bring awareness about why we need to protect our nature. So I'm using like health. So recently I was in San Francisco. There was a like a conference, like not conference, maybe a seminar, which I was like invited to speak at. It was by an AIMC Berkeley. It was like acupuncture and Chinese medicine. So I got a touch of Chinese medicine from them as well. So they really took me to a forest that day. So we went as a group of students, and we took our heartbeats before entering the forest, and they asked us to spend some time all alone in a forest region, just seeing here and there, just connecting with the nature for 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, we just came out and we checked our pulse again. So there was significant difference, and also the rhythm of the pulse was also very normal and regular. That was something we observed in real time. So nature has a really lot of power healing us. That's something we, in a fast life, in a city life, we are losing. So that's something. So here is the apps for screenshot, which shows how we display things and how people can find information about how each plant is helping them, helping in different diseases. You guys can search it out, everything. So that's the crowdsourcing way, which we are soon we'll change the design. So I'm working on that as well. So one thing is that we wanted to share a moment with nature. That's the best thing as an individual can do, because if we share a word like, yeah, today I'm with my nature, and posting something in a social media profile or story or something, that'll be great. And yeah, these kinds of useful tips can also be good for sharing, because when we share, that creates small changes in the world. Yeah, and small changes really matters. And yeah, this is something we are right now working. I was planning to release this today, but I couldn't do that. It's like a virtual biodiversity park, where people can put their information. Like, you just saw a plant or an animal which is really interesting, yeah, you have information about that plant or something, you could just take a picture, upload it, and it will be shown in our maps. That's something we are working on. I wanted to release it today, but unfortunately it was not ready. So yeah, that's the social media of biodiversity. That's it. And from my side, I wanted to bring value to this awareness creation with value, so that people really care, like they're getting something back as well. Most of people here doesn't care, because they don't think that even if it's like spending them time with nature is not worth it. That's the main reason, I think, in my part of the world. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gokul. I know there are a couple of questions in the chat, including if the app is currently available. So maybe you could respond to that quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The app is right now available in Android only, so it's not available in iOS. Soon we are trying for a web app, so it's available in HTML. Sorry, it's available in every phone and everything. So yeah, do you see? It looks like an iNaturalist. Yeah, it looks like iNaturalist, but we want to collect information about how indigenous people are using this. So it's really like a social media mostly. Thank you guys, and I always welcome for your suggestions and everything, because I wanted to know more, because it's a global platform, and yeah, still searching around for information about how I can make it more inclusive for other sciences. When I went to Chinese, San Francisco's Chinese medicine school, they told me Ayurveda and Chinese medicine are really close, and almost there was a slight difference. And yeah, I think it's similar to all other traditional medicines across the world, like Islamic, Sami, and everything. So yeah, open to all your suggestions and queries. You guys can connect to me in Instagram. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. We'll jump to Hasina next, and Vedast will introduce her, but maybe over to Vanessa first, and then Vedast.
No, it's just that I will invite after Hasina, Roberto to share a little bit of what they are doing. It's very similar to what Kogu presented. So, but after Hasina. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Oh, is it
Thank
me,
you.
right?
Yes, yeah, you are almost there. I would introduce you a little bit in fast to the audience so that they grasp a little bit about who you are and what you've achieved so far. Hasina is from Rwanda. She's, by the way, called Hasina Uwiringiyimana. She's an international program officer for deforestation organization. Called Reforest Action. She's a GIS expert at that organization, particularly focusing on the projects across the eastern and western part of Africa. She's really into reforestation projects, and she would have a good grasp of connections between biodiversity and health by using reforestation as a bridge. The floor is for her to listen to her in more detail.
Thanks, Vedast, for the introduction. I'll also need to share the screen and share my presentation. Sorry, I've got some issues with my audio. Let me. I just want to share my screen. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you, and I think yes, we can use PowerPoint now.
Yeah, then yeah, can you also see my PPT?
Yes, now it's okay.
Thanks. Yeah, as Vedas has said, my name is Hasina Uwiringiyimana, and I'm currently working as an international project officer at Reforest Action, which is a French company that funds reforestation projects all around the world. As I saw some people, we've got some projects in Latin America, including also including those countries in Latin America. We've got some projects in Africa and in Asia. And as myself, I'm in charge of, currently I'm in charge of 3 projects, one which is in Rwanda, another one which is in Kenya, and another one which is in Malawi. And I'm so glad to be sharing with you some insights on particularly this biodiversity, International Biodiversity Day. I will briefly talk about the connection between biodiversity and health, and then I can't help myself without talking about deforestation and how it impacts our health. And then I'll also tell you a conservation effort, and then I'll conclude. Today, as we are gathering to celebrate the International Biodiversity Day with our team of exploring connections between biodiversity and health, I just want to say, to let you know what is biodiversity and what it is not. Biodiversity is not an environmental issue, as some people think about it, just to make peace with themselves, to not care about the biodiversity. Biodiversity is a profound interdependence between our own well-being and the health of our natural world. It is a matter of human survival and prosperity. Biodiversity is incredible diversity of plants, animals, and ecosystems, including us. It is the foundation of life on Earth, from the vast rainforest teeming with exotic creatures to smallest microorganisms hidden beneath the soil. Here are some amazing benefits of biodiversity. The diversity of our natural surroundings provide us with the essential resources for survival. As you all know, forests provide us with clean air, water, and food, and wetlands act as natural filters to purify our water, the water that we drink. And as many of the previous speakers have talked about, we know the magnificent role that the ecosystem and the biodiversity plays to provide us with medicinal plants. As I said, I will be also talking about, as we talk about the interconnection between life and biodiversity, I cannot resume my presentation without talking about deforestation as one of the human activities that destroy the biodiversity and the environment in general. According to the IPBES report, 1 million animals and plants worldwide are threatened with extinction due to habitat loss, and habitat loss is usually caused by deforestation. I'll use this case study of story of chimpanzees community in Gishwati Forest in Rwanda. As you all know, chimpanzees are primates which were found to be closely to humans, and these chimpanzees communities were used to be located in this area. It is highlighted in red. This whole area, as you can see, it used to be it is one of the remaining natural forest and biodiversity hotspots in the Congo, Nile, Alberta, and Rift region. It used to be a home of, actually this whole area is a home of thousands of species of primates, including chimpanzees communities. There was deforestation. This is the analysis which was conducted from 1990 to 2019 to study the forest cover change and the deforestation and also physical degradation of the forest. This actually, as you can see from this previous slide, it is a biological corridor. And then this was the analysis of this of the forest cover change or the forest cover loss, deforestation and degradation that was conducted. As you can see from 1990, you can see that the forest was still intact. But as time has gone, as you can see in 2019, there were only very small patches of forest. And they study, according to the Euclidean nearest neighbor, which is a landscape metric, this studies, it is a simplest measure to measure the patch isolations or the small fragments of forest and how they were isolated from one patch to another. And this actually helps us to know how, like, because like to know how as the forest patches isolate from one another, it translates into a habitat loss due to animals could not migrate, they could not find enough food, they could not also reproduce, especially the chimpanzees, which also are so like their production system is not so much easy. The study in 2019 has shown only 18 individuals were remaining in this area. Yeah, this it is not only like the loss of biodiversity. I'm just talking about the chimpanzees family, the chimpanzees community, but there are also other many species that were lost due to deforestation and forest degradation. And it is not only about the biodiversity, as I said, it is an interconnection. There was a natural disaster recently that happened in Rwanda. Another one happened in Burundi, also in Congo, and only in Rwanda, and it was specifically in this region. It was a natural disaster caused by heavy rain, and it has caused flooding and landslides, which has resulted like 131 people have lost their lives and thousands of others were displaced. You can see how we are interconnected and our activities impact the biodiversity, but it doesn't leave us behind. We also face the challenges of our impact. From this, I would also tell you a conservation story, a conservation effort story, which is, as you all know, or some of you know, Rwanda is known as a country of 1,000 hills, but also it is a country of volcanoes, as you can see. There are 5 of them, and the Rwanda highest summit is at 4,500 meters. This is at Mount Kadisimbi. You can see some snows at the top. The sides of volcanoes are homes for several families of mountain gorillas, which you encounter in the heart of intact and majestic forest, where you can hear the stories of Diana Foss, whose boundless commitment has allowed the survival of these species, but still they are still threatened. This mountain gorilla species can only be found in 3 countries, which is Rwanda, Uganda, and Congo, DRC Congo. Unfortunately, she has lost her life, and she's considered as a model by young generations who are aware of the conservation issues of this species, myself included. The government of Rwanda, well aware of these majestic treasures, are doing everything possible to preserve the majestic of these native ecosystems. These efforts have not only had a positive impact on the gorillas themselves, but also brought significant benefits to the surrounding communities. As I can say some few of the benefits, conservation efforts have created economic opportunities for local communities. Gorilla trekking, which is where tourists pay permits to visit gorillas, has become a popular activity. Revenue generated from tourism is often shared with local communities, contributing to their livelihood. Jobs are created in tourism sectors such as guides, park rangers, porters, and hospitality staff. And this provides employment opportunities for locals who are former poachers. Funds generated from tourism are reinvested in community projects, including infrastructure development, education, healthcare, and clean water. All this improve the overall quality of life for local communities and reduces their reliance on activities that harms gorillas and their habitat. As of conclusion, as this year theme says, from agreement to action, build back biodiversity, let us move beyond commitments and take concrete steps to restore and protect biodiversity. Thank you. Happy International Biodiversity Day. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Hasina, for the amazing presentation.
Yes, thank you, Hasina. That was amazing. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Gokul. And a quick hello to everyone who has not spoken yet or has been listening and learning. I want to do an invitation for us to actively promote health, including our own personal health. So if you have been sitting, maybe you can stand and we stretch and maybe take a breathing opportunity. I don't know if Vanessa, if you want to lead us in maybe a minute of just collective healing and appreciation for the beautiful privilege of being alive.
Yes, with pleasure. Thank you, Nathan. So just that, maybe if you want, just stretch legs, like, you know, just going up a little bit, you know, like arms up too. Also, it's very good. Yes, just keep it there. If you can bring your arms, if you don't have any shoulders problem, bring your arms in your, you know, ears, and then open your hands and stay there for a while. You know, we have this, I call it invisible anatomy. It's this energetic paths. And this is very good. I do this every morning. I just put my arms very straight up and breathe like that for a while. It's very interesting, the feeling. And you can bring the arms very behind, you know, the maximum you can. Ooh. And then bring your arms back and then just move a little bit your shoulders and head very small, releasing all this articulation and your tongue too inside your mouth, and also your eyes. Very good. And then a big breath. If you want to sit again, just find a very comfortable position. It's going to be not long, I promise, but just close your eyes. Make another circle with your head, just releasing all those muscles. A deep breath again. And then just, you know, stay in silence a little bit with your eyes closed with this deep breath, and think how lucky you are of being alive in this amazing planet, with all choices to be made from now on. Breathe again, very deep. Feel feet on the floor, grounded. And everything that surrounds you, that is connected. We are totally connected. And feel grateful to be part of this net that we are building together. We are like planetary partners. We're planetary brothers and sisters. We are working for our own land, which is the planet. So feel comfort that besides Anthropocene and everything that comes together with it, we have this net of strength. We are together in our hearts and in our proposal. And we are gathering forces together to move forward and change our future and the next generations. So, yeah, feel grateful for that. And when you feel like you can open your eyes and we roll back to this space, virtual space. Without forgetting that we are an egregore, energetic souls together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. And thank you all for being together with us. We are exploring a way that in the virtual space we can try and actively promote health. We know there's a problem with being too much in the virtual spaces or not connecting with our family, our homes, our communities, our local environments. But our hope is that in this space of gathering together to celebrate dates of importance, like International Day for Biodiversity, we have education as something which you hopefully have taken away and learned from what has been shared so far. We also are trying to build community so that you meet someone new and maybe make a good connection so that your own work or passion is strengthened. And then lastly, what we are trying to transition towards now is more action oriented so that we don't just look at and understand the problems and the challenges, but we actively co-create the solutions together. So that's our invitation for the remaining time that we have together. Some discussion questions were shared, and those can be just general templates, anything that you've heard that was interesting or ideas about what we can do moving forward. And want to make it very clear that if you have not had a chance to share yet, we want to make it as much an equal sharing space as possible, where every voice is valued and truly matters. And before I open up the floor, I just want to share briefly about a little bit about ACOPPHE, because some of you might be connecting to ACOPPHE for the first time. And so we just wanted to talk briefly about what ACOPPHE is and how we're committed to opening up spaces like this moving forward. So we want to celebrate the beauty of diversity. We want to build planetary community, and we want to actively embody the healing together for the Anthropocene and also anthropocentrism. That's being a technical term, which basically just means the idea that we as human beings are separate from and superior to the natural world. So very much on a day like today, the biological diversity celebration, it's important to remember that we are a part of nature and to think about ways that we can cherish and protect that nature, which is so important for our own health and well-being. So I'll open it up, maybe Percy, if you have any to share. Otherwise, we want to hear from everyone and see what we can do to remain connected moving forward. Percy isn't able to share right now. So Vanessa or Vedast, any thoughts about what we can ask our speakers or ways that we can think about engaging our audience? One option could be that we do breakout rooms if we want to connect on a more intimate one-on-one basis. Just an idea to put out there.
Yes. No, I just was wondering about, what Kogu shared of capturing images, biodiversity. And I remember that Roberto, he's doing he's within a similar project, and maybe we could extend that to this community somehow. So since we have so many locations, this will be a kind of a mainstream of, sharing biodiversity from these different places. I don't know, I just thought about it. Maybe it's not related. This could be a way of starting our thing. If Roberto, what do you think? Isn't it similar to the iNaturalist?
Yeah, that's a very interesting idea of Goku. Said that people are not aware, interested in connection with nature, but everyone is connected with the iPhone, the technology, and this can be helpful to connect people again with nature. And the iNaturalist is a software created by some university, and they use this to promote what is very important is citizen science. Nathan helped me with the word I think is citizen science. I think is, yes. And then with this app, people go to the nature and start doing some pictures, and the software identify the plant, the animal, and this is something very interesting. There is some kind of events that they promote that as the day of a challenge. Biodiversity in cities, for example, was the last event that we prepare here to take part. And 4 days to take pictures of nature in the cities around the world. And it's a kind of challenge to understand the biodiversity in cities. And that, I think, is very good, the idea of Goku, to help with people to look for the plants and medicinal plants. And with this approach of traditional medicine, I think is a very good idea. And I think that's one way to educate people and to connect with the students, young people. I think it is very good. We are using this idea to promote some activities.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I have a concern or a point that I want you, Roberto, or the rest of the speakers to talk a little bit about. Commonly, all the speakers seemingly talked about they seemingly reflected upon the ancestral medicine, let's say nature, or man-made activities, man and her activities together with all these complex natural systems together. And one of the interesting things was that ancestral medicine could be a better way to cut down some of the problems that people create within this complex natural system. So, and it's the resources human has in her hand. So I was wondering how this ancestral medicine would be replicable, how replicable it is. to the similar context. Let's say Africa, let's say the rest of the Indian part. Yeah. So how would this ancestral medicine be replicable to the rest of the similar context?
Maybe I can share some ideas regarding that. As we all know, it has happened all around the world, especially in developing countries, including countries in Africa, in Asia, and Latin America. There has been, over the years, deforestation and forest degradation. And that deforestation and forest degradation, it has occurred in natural forest. You know, like we used to have the Amazons, the natural forest of Amazons, the natural forest in Indonesia, the natural forest in Central Africa and those countries of Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi. But as of now, it is no longer the case. You know, we no longer, in most of the areas, we no longer have the natural forest. And as the initiative of reforestation and planting back the trees that we used to have started, people tended to misunderstand the idea, and you will see that all the trees that have been planted, I would say, maybe like in Rwanda, let me give an example of Rwanda, like all the reforestation initiatives, they have happened, yes, but we were planting these exotic trees, because exotic trees are they grow very fast, and then they're economically viable, and the communities would love them so much because they would give them back, you know, in terms of the economy. And as every time when I'm moving around Rwanda, you can see eucalyptus trees. Those who know about it, they can know how eucalyptus species are very bad when it comes to biodiversity and when it comes to the complexity of the environment, because they consume a lot of water to grow. And when they are growing, they are very competitive. When you plant a eucalyptus somewhere, all other species are going to, you know, it's going to compete all other species, and then you end up having the eucalyptus species. I'm not talking about other exotic trees. And then when we are planting those exotic trees, we forget about our endemic species, those species which were there before, like which were used to those areas, and those were the ones which were providing the medicine product. So yeah, this is how the idea is, like it is, and I'm sure it's not only in Rwanda but also some reforestation activities in Europe and other countries have been planting any kind of trees without having an idea of bringing back. Yes, we are doing reforestation, but we have to bring back those trees which used to be there, and those are the endemic species, and they are the ones which provide the medicinal products. And as of now, the idea is starting to change. As an example, in Reforest Action, we promote planting the endemic species. And doing that, you would have the medicinal products, but not only the medicinal products, but also the entire biodiversity. That's when those animals which used to be in those areas, that's when they will come back, and the complexity of the biodiversity would be rehabilitated back. Like we have to concentrate and promote and tell people to not only do reforestation and, you know, and not only reforestation and planting again trees, but also we have to emphasize on the role of the endemic species. Endemic species, I hope you all understand, they are those species which were there before all the degradation activities started. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Would be any other speaker wanting to speak a little bit about this? Yeah. Oh.
Yes, I'd like to add some. First, is that biodiversity is something that create a lot of solutions to our life in this planet. That we are, in terms of food, the biodiversity of food, the biodiversity of all the species, they are interconnected and create healthy environments. And we living in healthy environment is good for us, not only in terms of treatments and directly using, applying some as traditional medicine and how can I say this, phytotherapy that we used to say, this therapy with plants, but we are healthier when we are living in healthier environments. So we need to understand this approach, more general approach. And of course, there is a lot of genetic sources that could be even helpful to us in terms of development of medicine and other treatments. But I think that the biggest challenge is to restore, as Hasina said, that the natural environment, we are losing the natural environment, the characteristics, and it's not only the reforestation, and it's not so only this aspect, but is to have the natural biodiversity. So we have a lot of challenges, but I think that we need to understand that what the health is related with, our health is related to the health of our environment. That means that biodiversity is a sign of the health of environment.
Thank you. Be there any other speaker?
Yeah, just to complement, thinking about micro and macro, I just remember our microbiome and microbiota. This is like, it's like that diversity, you know, is what makes it rich and strong. So if we do like an analogy, we could think, because this is everywhere. You know, the micro, we cannot see it, but it's making the difference. The microorganisms, or, you know, and we have like the connection that we cannot see, but makes the difference. Yeah, it was just that I remember the microbiome. Thank you.
I want to appreciate again everyone staying together. We're now, it's about 90 minutes since we first connected, and want to just highlight that we don't want to keep anyone longer than you're comfortable. And so if you need to go soon, feel no pressure. Maybe if you could say goodbye or share some thoughts about some next steps before you go. And otherwise, if you are able to share, we'll plan to keep the space open for approximately another 20 to 30 minutes. But wanted to for sure let everyone know, if you haven't shared yet and you need to go soon, please either raise your hands or come in and share what you have, because we want to continue working together, actively advancing our own diversity and the diversity of biological nature that's part of us. I don't want to give any pressure, but if this is your first time connecting to one of our ACOPPHE meetings, and if you have ideas about what we can do working together to protect biodiversity or to collaborate to promote planetary solidarity and stewardship. Want to especially invite you to share now so that we know how we can stay connected. And we do have some ideas about next steps. It's an important couple of weeks coming up, including the Africa Day in 3 days on the 25th of May. And then in a little less than 2 weeks will be, maybe it's exactly 2 weeks. So World Environment Day on the 5th of June. We're planning on opening up additional space for sharing to celebrate those 2 activities. So be on the lookout for more information there, and feel free to reach out to us if you have questions or ideas to remain connected.
Long silence.
But it was a connected one, I guess. You know, we're kind of, I felt like everybody's kind of with their heads moving, you know, and different things and trying.
I think that we have this connections that we need to cultivate, and we are at local activities, but we need to share experience. I think one very important thing is that we need to organize our local experiences and share our results, our way of doing things, and hopefully we can help to visit each one, to help and stay some time together to understand better what we are doing. I think is one way to understand, because we have a lot of things to do in terms of reconnections between us and the earth, and a lot of experience we can share. I think there is very good ideas, each one with different aspects of way of approach the idea. This is biodiversity, cultural biodiversity, that as we heard today.
Yeah, I think I would say something similar to that. For example, here at ACOPPHE, we have different departments, I would say, or sections, working on different or specific sectors. For instance, we have a community biodiversity partners, mainly focusing on biodiversity and all kinds of projects related to biodiversity conservation, nature and people, all these kinds of things. We also have things like cultural department or section, where we look into things like ecosystem services in connection or related to cultural aspects. We also have a health section, where we look into, we focus on children's health, food, nutrition for children, but also for adults. We also have different sections like environment in general, partnerships, where we reach out to different organizations across Africa, across Latin America, across Europe, across the US, just all over the world. So we really need to get in touch much better than ever before, and we keep so that we can keep working together, growing together, developing things together, initiating and implementing projects together. So feel free to reach out, feel free to ask any more information as much as you can. And we are looking forward to connecting with you anyway. Thank you.
Yeah, I just will add on that. I'm not sure if you mentioned the art, culture, and indigenous knowledge systems is one of our action teams. And we are the one who are preparing the Africa Day. We are going to be speaking about the diaspora, Africa diaspora, and the, you know, all the cultural baggage that this movement left all over the world. So that will be what it's all about. And within this group, Wale is here, maybe she cannot speak, and Menzi too. We try to bring different ontologies and epistemologies and narratives to the world. You know, especially the traditional people values and wisdom and knowledge, thinking about medicine too, you know, to enrich our power to minimize or change the Anthropocene movement. And so, yes, so we bring arts and culture, this humanistic side to the planetary health field, or the, you know, whatever you call it, to consider also this humanistic part that is kind of this, it's not very emphasized nowadays within this field, you know, and it's very important because to achieve the great transition, we need to start changing our values and transforming ourselves as first thing. And this is a humanistic issue, you know, to talk about equity, of inclusion and everything. So kind of this is the thing of what we are trying to do in this action team. Thank you. Oh.
But also, before I forget it, our collaboration doesn't limit to collaborating with a organization with which we share interest. Our collaboration does expand on collaborating with different disciplines, different people from across disciplines all over the world. Here we are open to collaborate with scientists, university professors, university project management, local communities, let's say grassroots level communities, local governments, central governments, private sector, small and medium enterprises, startups, yeah, all these kinds of stakeholders. So please do join us. We are really open to create something together, develop something together, grow together, and get to the top of the mountain together. That's the thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Vedasti. Just adding a little thing is just what Roberto said, maybe some pragmatic way of gathering our practice in our local places. We will think about it, as I'm speaking on behalf of ACOPPHE now, maybe to create some kind of, you know, our biodiversity friendship group, that we had kind of this idea, maybe to bring it alive within this space. You know, how can we connect more often and to share our things, and maybe, you know, we just made lots of connections today. You know, Vivian with go to, I forgot the name, go to, or Google, Gonjo. Oh, I forgot. The one who spoke before Hassini. Well, anyway, to build the connections and to foster in our own things, you know, getting used of this biodiversity, of this diversity of ideas and actions. And just one more thing, maybe Mona would like to talk. Is Mona here still or not, about the mentoring research network? Because maybe we could connect there to the scholars and people who are doing like, you know, research. This is also a space that is open. It's going to open a new cycle. We do like a semester cyclings. So if you want to join, you know, to do collaborative research, transdisciplinary research, you are welcome to reach us. Thank you. I'll pass the word. Goku. Thank you. Yes.
I would like to say I have another appointment now. I like to say it was a very good experience exchanging and seeing you and listening you different parts of the planet. I think it is always some kind of hope in this effort to connect, and I think that is the way to create solutions for our problems. So I'm very happy to be part, and I will ask you permission to say goodbye and see you next time and in other opportunity. Bye. Thank you,
Roberto. See you soon.
It is also getting late to me. I would need to leave and go for other engagements. Thanks for having me today, and yeah, keep on enjoying the World Biodiversity Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Hasina.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So I think we're moving towards closing, and a lot of us that are still in the room know each other quite well. So I want to again check and see, no pressure again, but Alex or Jolita or Alfred, any ideas about something you saw that went well today, or looking ahead to Biodiversity Day in 2024, or ways that some of the work we're doing within ACOPPHE might link up with existing work that you're doing or interests? We are interested to hear.
Okay, Nidin. Oh my God, Nidin, because you make me so, how can I say, I don't know what can I say, because I think my English is not very good, because I have difficulty to express in English. And so how you say what I'm thinking about 2024 about biodiversity. I think I understand you. And while I was watching every good thing that I hear here, so I can think in a lot of things that that we can have a reflection in this year, and I can think about how can we improve our action with our youth here, and because I hear that sorry because yes, I understand that we need to take about the population education, because it's very important to change the culture, to change the way to live, to change the way to deal with the nature, and so I think because of this, I have a hard work with youth, with children, and because I think it's very important. The children need to be aware, to be conscious about all this kind of the environment, and about biodiversity. Children here create good card. I'm going to share with you on the group, and so we talked about this kind of subject, and the children here, I prepare a main activity next month, because it's the International Environment Day. So they are going to show a lot of things. They are prepared a lot of activity with how to deal with our biodiversity and so on. It's okay, guys. I wasn't prepared to speak now. It's okay. And thank you for this opportunity to be here and hear a lot of good things about biodiversity. About our biodiversity, and I'm so happy because I know you. I keep in touch with you that have this value, and so I have got a good thought about the future, good things about the future. And so thank you for this opportunity. And I would like to say a lot of good things, but I needed to prepare myself. I'd like to present something, let me see, some webinar. I would like to prepare some slides, okay, to prepare my presentation here with you. I think in the future, I will be this opportunity, because you are going to give me this opportunity to present my job and my research here in my local community. So thank you everyone. That's all.
Thank you, Jolita. And just want to follow up quickly. You mentioned that you have a plan for the World Environment Day on the 5th of June. Maybe that could be a chance for you to present about the activity that you're doing, because we're planning to have a similar meeting to the one that we're doing today. So we can be in touch about that if that sounds like a good opportunity to consider. But thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. I love it. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, you're most welcome. And I think we're heading towards closing, so I want to check and see if anyone has any remaining questions or ideas about next steps or what we can do together.
Yes, my name is Alex Goldenwolf. I'm founder of Indigenous Earth Protectors, and I was just like listening to like the holistic part and the healing part, and that's like what I like indulging in, and like help healing people that way and different things like that. I mean, I was involved in the Line 5-3 fight, the Line 3 fight over here in Minnesota. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a tar sands oil pipeline coming from Alberta, Canada, into North Dakota to Minnesota. Now it's going to go through Wisconsin and Michigan. And so right now, my goal right now for this, after being in the Line 5 fight, is like to like help with the Line 5 fight, because the Line 5 is like the extension of Line 3 going through Michigan, and it poses like great risk because it's a pipeline. It's an oil pipeline. It's gonna break, obviously, and so what I'm trying to do is help like heal the earth by like healing the people and like living on the earth, if you know what I mean. Like growing food and doing ceremony and like healing like naturally and in different ways like that. And I hear that many people on this like chat are like very much so in tune to like that aspect of like what I am trying to do right now. Like I've seen this as like a goal of mine for a very long time. So I think that like, yeah, connecting with a lot of the people on this organization would be a good extension for like not only me but for other people too. So I would like to like get connected somehow. So
Thank you, Alex. So just a suggestion, we have lots of early stage or emergent spaces within ACOPPHE that we're looking at, both regional organizing, Africa, other parts of the world, including countries we're about to register in Kenya as our initial location for the organization. Then we have action teams like the research or MRN Mentoring Research Network, the AICKS, Arts, Indigenous Culture, or ACIKS, I think, Arts, Culture, Indigenous Knowledge Systems. So Vanessa and Walia, thanks Vanessa for putting it in the chat, are leading that. So that would be a clear, great place to connect. And then the community biodiversity partners that Vedast is helping to lead is another potential space, but feel free to reach out to either me, Vanessa, Vedast, anyone else on this call, Nightingale, Walia, and Tess, our other ACOPPHE leaders. So again, we are happy to connect with you, find out ways that we can partner and support each other's work. And the opportunities are very many, and we look forward to how we can best stay connected.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry, I wonder, did you start to speak, Jolita?
Sorry, excuse me.
I thought you might have said something, but I might have missed that. You're okay. All right. Sorry for that. So any last things to share before we close for today?
Well, I just wanted to say that it was an insightful meeting, and yeah, for me, I really enjoyed it, and especially just listening from different people, and also just from, I know the last time I heard about Bolivia was last year, and I didn't even know where that country was in the map. So I'm so happy to have had that discussion today.
Okay, one note. There is someone who he asked me on WhatsApp, my WhatsApp, if we do have kind of regular events or meetings or check-ins. Yeah, so yeah, we do, of course, have different meetings, let me call them events, where we talk or discuss different topics. Could be cultural topics, could be biodiversity, could be nutrition, could be food. We do have these events. We've actually been having them, and I think we are going to have the many more of them in the coming days. So keep in touch and don't miss any of these potential fantastic events.
Thank you, Vedast. And I put in the chat that we're looking to regularly have a monthly meeting where we can build and grow and connect and learn and have more of a stronger planetary community, and then see about action steps that we can take to support each other to heal ourselves and planet Earth. So thank you for that reminder, and hopefully we can work to organize this and get it scheduled. Maybe starting from July would be a good initial launch of our regular monthly meeting. So let's keep in touch and keep sharing ideas about how to do that. The question is which day of the week. So we're kind of looking between Fridays and Saturdays, and right now maybe leaning a little bit more towards a Friday and the first Friday of the month as a regular time where people can try and plan around it in their schedules.
Was indeed a lovely meeting. Thank you. Gratitude.
Thank you all. In Swahili, we say pamoja twaweza, meaning together we are able. And on the Day of Biological Diversity, it's important that we remind ourselves who that we is. And it's not just us as human beings, it's in the present moment, it's channeling and honoring our ancestors and those who are young and yet to come, future generations, and also our shared home on planet Earth and all of our relations in the beautiful web of biological diversity that we are so much a part of. So asante sana, thank you all. And that's all for me. We'll probably end soon unless anyone has last words to share. Thank you all.